I've got all these hoes and look at me, like, you know, king of these women. And it's like, no, you are the ultimate in pathetic parasitic predators. Well, if you have to choose between being depressed and anxious and laying downstairs and covering yourself with Cheeto dust and looking at pornography and being timid and never going out, or, you know, listening to someone like Andrew Tate who says, like, get the hell out there and take the world, like, that's better. That's the shadow, right? Speaking in some ways, right? Like if you're naive and timid and anxious and intimidated and useless and resentful, there's going to be a bit of a monster that needs to call to you to say, you know, gird up your loins and get the hell out there in the world. The first thing you got to say about him is that he's genuinely tough, right? So that's not a front. That's not a front. He's a fighter. And you can't take the courageous element of being a fighter away from someone who will actually step in the ring, right? And so now, and then you said Tate's intelligent, and what that means as well is that some of the things he says are going to be of value. Now, why he says those, that's a whole different issue. The thing that disturbs me is that, like, I'm not very fond of the whole online porn thing in any way. And I don't think that it's okay for young women to monetize their sexual attractiveness online. I think that leads to a very dark place for them, even if they're successful, because becoming successful
hurts your soul.
You don't become successful by exploiting yourself. And so I don't like the whole online porn thing. And then I don't now, my understanding, and I've watched him apparently agree to this characterization online. You know, it's hard to get I'm not trying to be the jury here because I haven't heard the whole damn story, but from what I've watched is he would enter into relationships with women and tilt them in the direction of generating like an OnlyFans following, monetize that, and then take a percentage. And there isn't anything about that that I think is acceptable. You know, and you could say, well, you know, women are the captains of their own soul, and if they want to monetize their own attractiveness, then what the hell, why not do it? And if they're going to do it anyways, you know, I can help them, and if I help them, why not take a piece of the action? And the answer is, to me, the answer to that is, well, how about because it's ignoble and wrong? And Tate would say, well, if you're just not doing something because you're a coward, that doesn't mean you're good. And whereas I'm forthright and tough, and look at me, I climb into the ring, you know, I can entice women into, you know, sex work online and take a cut, and why the hell shouldn't I? And I think that if you're a timid and reprehensible, resentful, bottom-dwelling male, that's going to look like an attractive alternative. But it's not the highest form of human behavior, right? It's not acceptable. Pimps of any sort are, I truly believe, they're amongst the most contemptible of people. I think there's nothing in, you know, the pimp is, I've got all these hoes and look at me, like, you know, king of these women. And it's like, no, you are the ultimate in pathetic parasitic predators. There's nothing about that that's heroic. It's just pathetic.